Hey, friends. Welcome back. Yeah, it's Friday and it's time for another episode of At This Table, fUNfiltered, fun marketing talk for authors. I'm Shelly Brown and I'm so glad that y'all are here with us today.
I'm Carol Tetzlaff, and we are excited for this conversation because it's one so many authors, including us, need right now.
And I'm Sara Cormany. And yes, we're going to walk you through something that might actually help you breathe a little bit easier as the year wraps up.
Yeah. So today's episode, it's going to kind of feel like a deep breath because let's just be real for a minute, okay? Ask you a question. How are you ending this year? Are you somewhere between I'm thriving or somewhere between I'm hiding from any kind of marketing? Wherever you are, I mean, we get it because we're all on different ends of the spectrum, probably, right? Carol, where are you at?
Where am I? I am, well, I'm actually thriving because I did an Advent devotional and it's like going amazing. So
that's right.
That's really odd for me because usually I don't do anything. So it's good.
You do things, but right. How about you? Well, Sara, I don't think you have any major projects going on right now. You're helping everyone else do their thing. So, right.
Well, I let's just say I round out the continuum where Carol is thriving. I'm probably more on the surviving, but hey, I'm here. So that is something.
Yeah. Well, we are all here today, and we are so glad that y'all have joined us. And what we're going to do today is we're going to give you kind of an end-of-year author checklist, all right? Something that you actually need today, okay? At least we hope you do. Pretty sure you do. No guilt. No, hey, I should have done a whole lot more. Just a sane, simple way to finish the year really well and step into the new one with confidence, okay?
Awesome. I need this. So thank you. And, honestly, if you are crawling to the finish line right now, you're not behind. You're just human. Like that, it just happens.
Amen. And if you are maybe on that other end of the spectrum where you're feeling energized and you're ready for January, that's amazing. This checklist will actually help you channel that momentum with clarity and with connection.
Yeah. So we're going to start off first, like we do probably with just about any of the trainings that we do, like our 3-day challenges and any of those things, is with a heart check. So I'm going to ask, like, how are you really doing? All right. So because before we talk strategy, we really want to talk soul matters. Okay. Authors tend to fall into 2 categories at the end of the year. Either too relaxed, I'll deal with marketing in January, or too uptight. I have to squeeze in one more push or I have failed miserably.
Yeah, I think a lot of authors land on the too relaxed side. Maybe they didn't think about their email list for months, not because they didn't care about it, but because they thought no one really wants to hear from me, especially during the holiday season. So the funny thing is, readers often do want to hear from you because they appreciate those small human touch points that you give them.
And on the opposite end, plenty of authors find themselves just wound a little too tight. The kind who, this is not me, but apparently there are people out there who refresh their Amazon dashboard like it's like a heart monitor, bless their hearts, like checking sales, rankings, reviews over and over and over again in December. Nothing says holiday peace like watching your KDP stats fluctuate every hour. Yes?
Right. Well, here's the truth, y'all. Now, unless you absolutely feel compelled to do otherwise, all right, we're just going to suggest to you that you do not need to achieve one more milestone before the end of the year. You do not need to launch a massive Christmas campaign. You do not need to punish yourself for being tired, all right? But you do need an honest check-in, okay? So here's some questions to ask yourself. Am I avoiding my book because I'm discouraged or because I need rest? Think about that. Here's another question. What did God do this year that I haven't paused to acknowledge? Another one. What tiny next step feels doable? Not dramatic, but just doable right now. All right. So think through those three things, kind of deep questions. Today's episode is going to be built around helping you to hopefully answer those questions. All right.
Yeah. So once you do the heart check, so if you need to pause this, if you're watching it later, and just take a minute to answer those questions, let's move into the next segment, which is the 20-minute year in review. So I promise this is light. We're not going to have spreadsheets unless you're really weird and that brings you joy. I do know some people like that. Anyone here a spreadsheet person?
No.
Yeah. No, not me either. So if you don't need to have a spreadsheet, you just need to simply be honest about where you are. And this is going to be an honest snapshot about your year.
Absolutely. You're just really just taking a quick look at where things stand. Like, start with your numbers, not to judge yourself, but more to understand the landscape just a little bit better. A few areas that you might think about looking at, taking a glance at, is rough numbers of book sales. Always important. Your email list now versus January. Speaking engagements or podcast interviews. Online community growth, or even any notable spikes in activity. And that can be good or that can be bad. And what might have caused them. These aren't grades. You're not going to get an award. They're clues. They're clues that help you see what gained traction and, quite frankly, what didn't.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. So think about your numbers as Sara just described. And then we want you to shift your focus from numbers to stories from your readers. All right. This part matters just as much as the numbers, if not more, in my opinion, if not more. So here's some questions to ponder. Who reached out and told you your book helped them? Hopefully you keep a file. Keep a file of any time somebody sends you something, just tuck it away and save it in one place so you don't have to search for it. Another one, what moment reminded you why you wrote your book in the first place? Where did you see God use your book in someone's life? And what did readers highlight that surprised you or that you didn't expect people to connect with? All right. These stories show you the impact behind the numbers.
I love that, Shelly. I recall, like, even in my own journey, when someone, and Sara, you probably can think of this too, when someone like comes to you and like, I love when you wrote this. And I'm like, I wrote that? Wow. I didn't know I wrote that. So yeah, having those reminders and writing it down is great, because most authors, we forget our stories. We fixate on more the numbers. How many are we selling? But the stories is where your ministry and that the true impact that you are having is happening. So when you look at both the data and the lives that you're touching side by side, you're going to get a much more authentic and hopeful picture of what your year is actually looking like.
Exactly. And it helps you see what is actually working, where God has been moving. And actually, I'll tell you a little story. So yesterday, I walked into my kids' high school for a meeting with one of the counselors. Walked into the office, sort of know all of the secretaries that are sitting there, administrative assistants. One I actually know really well, and I had gifted her a copy of Even When. I walk in the office and Julie pulls me aside and she's like, Sara, so-and-so who's sitting at the other desk, she's reading your book. I recommended it. And then as we're talking, the gal who's in between the two of them orders it on Amazon. I mean, how cool
Wow.
is that moment? And
Yeah.
even where I feel like I'm barely surviving and then I'm not doing enough, God is using person-to-person contact. And that was my story for December of 2025, hands down. But the reason we go to those stories and we go to the numbers and we bring them all together is it gives us a sense of what really deserves our attention when we move forward with intention.
Yeah, that is so cool, Sarah. Thank you for sharing that. That's one of those God moments. I love that. So that reflection really sets us up beautifully for the next part of our conversation. All right, because we're going to talk about choosing the lane that best matches where you are right now. So Sarah, why don't you start us off on that?
Well, now that we're really looking honestly at the year, both numbers and also stories, it becomes a little easier for us to really determine what we might need to do next. Because the truth is honestly, it's a little redundant, but it's okay. I'm just surviving. Authors end the year usually in very different places.
Yeah, exactly. Some of you that are watching, and we see you in the chat, and so I know where actually each of you are in your story. You're preparing for your very first launch and you're building your foundation. You're finishing up your book and you're editing. Some of you have already launched, or your book just launched and you're trying to figure out what the long game is going to look like. And some of you may feel a little stuck and just need a clear, gentle place to begin again.
Yeah. So to make this as simple as possible, we broke in the next part into 3 lanes for you. Okay. And each lane has a short, doable checklist to help you move forward with confidence, of course. No comparison, no pressure, just clarity for your season where you are uniquely at. All right. So those 3 lanes are, as Carol just alluded to, pre-launch authors. You haven't launched yet, but you're getting ready to. Launched and you're looking ahead, or you're stuck and frozen where you are right now.
So as we go through each one of these, I want you to listen for the one that makes you say, yep, that's me. That's the lane that you'll want to focus on.
And maybe go ahead and put it in the chat for us so that we can recognize where you are, or for those that may not know. So the first lane, as Shelly said, is pre-launch author. So if your book isn't out yet, you might feel if you're somehow late to the party or that everyone else is farther along than you. And that feeling is completely normal. Wherever you are right now, you can start from here. So here is a checklist for you. So this is for pre-launch authors. The first thing you need to do is clarify your reader and the promise. So before you design anything, any graphics, before you start posting or promoting anything, get clear on this point. So here's a couple questions. First, who is your book really for? Who did you write it for? Who's the reader? What problems are you helping them to navigate? And then what's the outcome or hope that you are offering from your message? This clarity is going to guide every single marketing step that comes next. So keep it in front of you. And if you're still writing, it's actually going to help you make sure that you're meeting that writer's need. Number 2, choose one online home base. I just had this conversation yesterday with someone. They're like, but I'm only on Instagram. It's okay. Be on Instagram and do it amazingly. So don't overbuild at this stage. You just need a simple place where people can first learn who you are. So don't just post like about your book, post about you. Number 2, learn what your message is about. And number 3, to join your email list. So, and that's where a basic landing page would also work perfectly for that on your website. Then number 3, create a simple free resource. What do we call it? A
lead magnet.
Hey, create a lead magnet. So just start with one. You can create more later. Just start with one, something short that helps your future reader right now. So it could be a scriptural reflection, a short checklist, a one-page devotional, a first chapter peek. Think small and meaningful, not fancy, but make sure that it's helping your reader, because if you're not helping your reader, nobody wants it. So make sure that you are creating something that is actually going to help your reader, because then they'll show up. And then number 4 is show up at least once a week. So it isn't about striving to build this massive platform. It's about warming up all those that are going to be your future readership, and let people start to see who you are and your heart. So you can share a writing insight, perhaps a personal moment where you connected to your message, a lesson that God's teaching you along the way. Maybe it's a snippet from your book. Whatever it is, consistency creates anticipation. So be consistent, show up.
Yes.
So that is for the pre-launch group. Now, Sara is going to tell us about the second lane, launched and looking ahead.
Yes, Carol. And here we are going to actually dive in and talk to the author who has already launched his or her book. Now, some of you are good. Was this intentional, Shelly, that I am doing the section, the tired people section?
I gave you all the tired, yes.
Bring me your tired. I am the tired. Some of you are tired just like I am, because launch season, it is a whirlwind. And you know, there are also some of you who thrive on that, and you're not exhausted at all. You're still steady. You're showing up, but you're thinking, okay, what do I do now? What does the long game look like? And how do I engage there? This lane is for both of you, not just one, but both of you. Whether you are running on fumes like me, or you are finally finding your rhythm, the end of the year is a perfect time to reset your long-term marketing habits. Your launched and looking ahead checklist needs to look something like this. Number 1, set a sustainable rhythm that you can keep all year. Whether you are fried or feeling good, sustainability matters more than intensity. At least one weekly touch point with readers is important. Email, Facebook group, blogs, or even a simple social media post. Also, at least one monthly outreach to expand your reach is also important. A podcast pitch, contacting a ministry, book club, bookstore. If you have the bandwidth to do more than just one monthly, awesome. You can also consider focusing your message on pitching multiple podcasts as well. You don't need to be everywhere, but you do need to be consistent somewhere. Number 2, create one evergreen asset. So instead of running your marketing like sprints, build, and I never sprint, by the way, so this is also an appropriate section for me. Build something that works all year, not just at the beginning when you have all that energy, but something that you can sustain every single month. An example of something that might fit this bill would be a simple downloadable bonus, like a guide, reflection questions, playlist, chapter samples. Could be a short intro video for groups or speaking events. A book plus bonus bundle you can share anytime might be another option, or a 5-day devotional that simply whets your reader's appetite. Remember that evergreen equals long-term sustainability rather than the constant hustle of trying to keep up. Number 3, refresh your reader invitations. So again, it's not a sales pitch. It's not a buy my book, buy my book. It is an invitation into your message. You can do this by inviting readers to leave a review, or you can invite them to share maybe a takeaway about the book. Or you can invite them to join your email list or your Facebook group. And last but not least, you could invite them to tell you, and I love this one, how you can pray for them if it fits your message. I think Mary DeMuth did that. I'm not sure if she still does, but she would put out the call for how can I pray for you today? And it's an amazing gift. It's not a gimmick. It's a gift because you're building into the lives of your reader, which is what we want to do all the time.
Yeah.
So,
hey, if I could just interject real quickly, you know who else just did this really well this week is our own Janet McHenry. Her monthly email, she sends out a monthly email the beginning of every month. And at the end, it was a very gentle invitation. She had highlighted, I got my thumbs up there. She had highlighted several books from some friends that have books out, and then also her own. And her gentle invitation was that if you reply to this email and let me know what your idea for your word of the year is, because she said, I need some ideas, or how can I pray for you? And I will pray for you. And then you'll be entered to win these books that I just highlighted. Now, it was just such a sweet, gentle invitation and a gift to her readers. And when Janet says she's going to pray for you, she's going to pray for you. So I actually responded and said, okay, I need you to pray for something. So and she responded back to me. So yeah, it's that gentle invitation, inviting them into your book, your message, and just loving on your readers.
Yeah.
So Debbie Ashley asked a question that we can answer as well.
Yeah.
And that is, where is the best place to make a download available?
So if you use like a MailerLite, all of that is built in there. If you don't, then we have used just Google Drive or OneDrive. If you have OneDrive, Google Drive is completely free. OneDrive is it OneDrive? No. What is it, Carol, that you use?
Dropbox.
Dropbox. Thank you. I'm sorry. Dropbox, it has a limit, to your free, but so Google Drive is my go-to, where you can just upload it to Google Drive for free and share the link, and they can download it automatically.
You just can't always get their email address if you just give them the direct link. So sometimes you want to make sure you have some kind of a way where either if you're posting it on social media, maybe there's a link to a form so that you can capture their email, or maybe you ask them to email you so that you have their email and then you just send it that way. There's workarounds, so you don't have to be all techie and get everything today. Like, just be simple.
Yep, absolutely. So let's dive back into the launched and looking ahead checklist. We are on element number 4. Choose at least one area to strengthen in the new year, because we can always improve, right? That's something we can always do. So this helps both the exhausted author and the steady author focus. So choose one to start with. It can be either number 1, to increase visibility. So that can be through podcasts, guest articles, bookstore connections. The next option would be to deepen your reader community, maybe up your email rhythm, increase Facebook group engagement, post reader challenges. Those could be some examples there. The third option would just be simply to clarify your messaging. You can do that through a stronger bio or a clearer book hook, or more consistent branding that resonates with your readers. And the fourth and final option here would be maybe speaking opportunities. Create a one sheet, prepare 2 or 3 talks, research ministries that might resonate and find connection with your message, or even key into groups simply who need your message. Like if you have a book on loss, grief share groups, or any type of support group would key into your message very well. So that's number 4. Number 5, even if you're not exhausted, you still need this. You need to rest. You need to breathe. You need to take a moment and connect not only with the one who gave you your message, but also with the people he has placed in your life to enrich it. So take a weekend off or even a week off. Nothing's going to happen. The world is not going to end. Take the time to step away from your book top. Secondly, ask God to show you how he wants you to use your book in the coming season. I know I really struggle sometimes with being goal oriented, but also being prayerful. It can be all too easy to just jump into the next thing before laying it at the feet of the one who gave us the message. So take the time to do that. Or you know what? Celebrate the lives that you touched this year. Even if the numbers felt small, I love a good celebration. I'm like, have a party, even the little office ladies, I should go and get a cupcake or something and say that was awesome. Rest and stepping away is not a strategy. It is not. See, we hadn't gotten to a mispronounced word. So now we have it. It is not a strategy. It is not a luxury. Oh, it is a strategy. Let me try. See, I'm a mess. Rest is a strategy, not a luxury. Did I get it right, Shelly? Let's do that.
Rest is indeed a strategy.
It is a strategy, but it also is a lifeline.
Yes.
So remember that.
For sure.
Yeah, Shelly, take over, please.
I am going to round out these lanes with lane number 3.
There's one more question that's on the
yes.
Put it up. So I missed the mailer light discussion the other day in Book Marketing Pro Academy. Is it not recorded? Now, is it not recorded? It's like, it's so negative, but I have no idea. I wasn't on it. So I'll have to ask Anastasia, Susan, to see if she recorded it. But she got a lot of great feedback. So maybe she will do it.
So I can speak to that. I do know that before the session, she and I talked about that it being an important one to record. So I believe she did. So we will follow up and make sure that you all have access to that.
Sara will be able to tell us because she has the link. So.
Yes.
Awesome.
All right. And if it wasn't recorded, I think we just need to have her do it again.
Absolutely. 100%.
All right. There you go. Because it was really, really well received and much needed training. Okay. Let's talk about lane number 3. The stuck and frozen authors. All right. And if anyone wants to be super, super honest and say that is me, I'm lane 3, go ahead and put it in the chat. So if you have spent more time thinking about marketing than actually doing anything with it, you are in very familiar territory with a whole lot of authors. All right. This lane is for anyone who feels unsure where to start. You're overwhelmed by options or caught in paralysis analysis. That is something that I can lean toward, is that paralysis analysis. I just overthink things and
Come on.
I know. And then I'm like totally paralyzed and I can't even move. So I feel, if you put that in the chat, I feel your pain. So let's talk about some things with this. Okay. Here's your checklist. Here's your checklist. It's Friday and I'm ready to party. Who am I kidding? I don't party on Friday nights. All right. So here's your checklist, y'all. pick number one, pick one clear goal for the next 60 days. All right. We're making this super simple. Just pick one clear goal, not a big flashy goal, just one meaningful target. Okay. Here's some examples that you could do. Say your one big goal is going to be that I'm going to get 10 new reviews. Could be that I'm going to grow my email list by 50 people. It's not impossible, y'all. You can do that. I'm going to book 3 podcast interviews. All right. I'm going to share something related to my book once a week for 60 days. Right. So clarity will cut through that paralysis, and y'all write it down. So whatever that goal is, write it down, and somewhere we're going to see it every day, and work toward that just over the next 60 days. Okay. So that's number one. Number 2, brainstorm 5 simple actions that actually support that goal. Okay. Not complicated strategies, just obvious next steps. Okay. For example, if your goal is podcast interviews, make a list of 10 podcasts. Do your research, find 10 podcasts, draft a simple pitch, and send at least 1 pitch a week. And again, if you have the capacity to do more, send more than 1. All right. Ask a friend to recommend you to a host that they know. A lot of us know people who have podcasts, and referrals kind of go a long way. All right. So don't negate that. So when you see those steps laid out, I think you will eventually see that fog lift, and you won't feel paralyzed anymore. You'll be able to take that next step. Okay. All right. Number 3, choose one tiny weekly step. All right. This is your anchor, y'all. Even during busy weeks, just this one step can keep you moving forward. Okay. Doing nothing, like taking a tiny step, it creates a momentum that doing nothing, obviously does not. That's a Captain Obvious statement, right? So just do something. And I encourage all of our authors, anytime I have the opportunity, is just do at least one thing a week, at least. I mean, if you can do more, but do at least one. Okay. So here's some examples. Send 1 email, post 1 short insight on your social media, pitch 1 podcast, reach out to 1 bookstore or church, post 1 invitation for people to join your email list, right? Small steps done consistently build real momentum.
Shelly, I love that idea, because I think when we look at the road that we want to be at, like we have that goal in mind, it's just so overwhelming. But I love, like, I always say, okay, I'm going to reach out to all of these churches and send out all the things. And I never do, because it's so overwhelming to like put all of that together. But if you did 1 a week, like just 1, takes 10 minutes, and then who knows? So great step. I love that.
Yeah. All right. Number 4, limit your inputs for a while. So what does that mean? Well, too much information. And listen, I'm guilty of this. I added this to the script because I'm like, this is something that I know I have had to really reel in at times. And I think we all can fall into this trap, or most of us can fall into this trap. It's too much information leads to decision paralysis. And in other words, being a constant consumer of information and training and all the webinars and doing all the things, it can end up leading to inaction, and that it's working against us, right? I love to learn. I love to learn the latest, greatest thing. I love to strategize. I love doing all the things. And sometimes I can get so immersed in all of the trainings that I'm not doing anything. I'm just consuming all the information, right? So here's our encouragement to you, at least through this next 30 days at least, okay? I want you to try this. Pause additional courses or webinars for 30 days, except for us, right? So come into BMA, show up for fUNfiltered, right? We don't give us up. But if you have all these other additional things, unless it's absolutely essential to what your goal and your current mission is, consider pausing all of that extra consumption for just 30 days. All right. Even perhaps unfollow accounts that make you feel behind. Do you need to unsubscribe Are you overwhelmed by all the things, all the emails? Give yourself permission to focus on one path right now. Not every path, just one path. Stillness can make space for clarity as well. All right. And as I said, I speak from whence I come. And then number 5 is back to the celebrate movement, not perfection. If you wait for perfection and everything to be perfect, you will never celebrate. You will end up feeling defeated. So celebrate your movement, right? Not perfection. Every single effort counts. It really does. Even if it's just something very small, it counts. Especially when you're starting again, right? God uses faithful steps. I love this quote. God uses faithful steps, not flawless execution. All right. Just be faithful. Take those faithful steps, even if they're little ones, and do not wait for it to be a flawless execution. Okay.
Yeah. So good. So those are the 3 lanes that you may fit into one or maybe even 2, actually, because you can be in pre-launch and be kind of stuck. So, but we're going to wrap up our time with what is probably the most important part of this episode. Not because I'm saying it, but because it just is. So what should you not take with you into the next year? And what should you carry with you into the new year? All right. So the things to let go of and the things to keep. First, we want to urge all of you, all of us for that matter, to release, to let go and relinquish these things. Unrealistic expectations.
Yes.
Constant hustle. Comparison. The idea that you have missed your moment, the pressure to be everywhere online, the belief that you have to do it like everyone else does, the weight of last year's disappointments, overthinking that which keeps you from even taking one small step, the mindset that your value is tied to numbers, to rankings, and to outcomes. Let it go. I could sing it for you.
Yes. Let it go. Yes. Leave those things in 2025. All right. So out of all of those, if any of those stood out the most to you, if you can recall, put it in the chat. All right. Unrealistic expectations. I think we all struggle with that at times. That always leads to disappointment, right? So comparison, put it in this chat if anything resonated there that you definitely need to, maybe it wasn't even on the list, but the Lord just said to you something you need to leave behind in 2025. So now let's look ahead. All right. Here's what we want to encourage you to carry with you. Things that will actually help you build a more grounded, kingdom-focused, more fruitful year ahead. Okay. And these are things that you need to be intentional about. We need to be intentional about because they really do matter. All right. I think the most important one on the list would be you're taking this with you, a clear sense of who you are. You are a beloved daughter or son of God. That's your identity. That's your core identity. Take that with you into the new year. Okay. A clear sense of who you serve. And I would suggest that would be serving your audience. Who is your audience that you're serving? And who do you serve ultimately? Who are you aiming to please above all others? Right? Take that with you into 2025 or 2026 rather. All right. A simple weekly rhythm. Take that with you. The reminder that God uses faithful steps, not frantic striving. Striving. How many of us that's what we do. We strive, right? He just wants your faithful steps. A willingness to experiment, even if it's imperfect. Openness to collaboration and intentional connection. That might be hard for some of us introverts, right? But be open to that because it's powerful. The courage to start small, start slow, or start again. Okay. The truth that your message still matters, deeply matters. And I think this next one is my favorite one, apart from the first one of who we are as beloved daughter and son of God. is trust that God can breathe on your efforts in ways that you cannot see or in ways that you cannot manufacture. Just trust that he can breathe on your efforts.
Yeah. You know what I really love about what both of you said is how Carol focused really on our need to release things. But then you, Shelly, highlight what is actually worth carrying into the new year. There is something about letting go of the heavy stuff and clinging to what actually brings us life.
Yeah.
It just makes us, it makes everything feel lighter and more attainable. So as we kind of wrap up, we want to help you put all of this into motion without overwhelm. So here's a simple recap turned into maybe even a little roadmap for you. Just one small action a day, something gentle, doable, and grounding to help you reset and start the new year with intention. Day number 1, heart check. Day number 2, year in review. Day number 3, quick platform tidy or cleanup. Day number 4, write your end of the year message. Day number 5, pick your lane and your checklist. Day number 6, choose one 60-day goal. Day number 7, choose one tiny weekly step. That's it. That's it. Simple, human, and doable.
Yes.
Such a good reminder. I just put it in the chat for you so you can get all of those different checklists. Your book's success, just remember this, your book's success doesn't rise or fall on how well you perform at the end of the year. God is not grading your marketing, but he does honor your faithfulness.
Yeah. And faithful doesn't mean frantic. It just means steady, right?
Good. So tell us in the comments maybe which lane you're in and what tiny weekly step will you do?
And if this episode stirred something in you, if you're ready to stop carrying all of this by yourself, if you haven't already, come and join us at Book Marketing Pro Academy, which you want to go to bookmarketingproacademy.com to do so. You'll get live weekly training, group coaching, a private community, and a ridiculous amount of practical tools that will help you grow your readership without the overwhelm. So if you want 2026 to be the year you finally feel confident and supported in your marketing, we'd love to welcome you to BMA.
Yes. And we are so glad that I think we have quite a few members of BMA already here watching live. So we love our members in our community. So that's it for today. It was a lot. So I think, and I hope that when you have time, you'll go back and listen again and pause it, do your heart check, go through that roadmap, and just end the year well and go into 2026 raring and ready to go. So y'all, until next time.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to answer one last question. So in another episode, you advised on getting a QR code on my website. Should I do both the QR code and the link to my book on Amazon? So if you're talking about your website, you don't really need a QR code because they're already on a digital device if they're looking at that. So they would just be able to click on it. QR codes are for like stationary things. So a flyer, a postcard, something that is printed. Maybe it's a sign that you created or a banner, because that way, as they're walking by, they'll take their phone and they will pull out their camera and be able to go to the QR code. If it's an online, like you have it on your social media, on your website, then you want to have the live link that they can go in and just click. Because if they're on your on your website on their phone, they can't go to the QR code because they don't have a phone to go. So think about it, like just whatever it is that wherever you want them to go, have that particular, click or QR code for the place that you have it, displayed. Also, I think one of the other questions she's kind of asking is, where does the QR code go to? And so it depends on what you want them to do. So if you want them to download your lead magnet and you want to capture their email, you want it to go to that form or that place that you're capturing it. If you want them to buy your book, you may want them to go to Amazon or to the book page on your website if you'd rather them buy it from you. If you want them to go to a Facebook group and join it. So just, you can have more than one place that they're going, just you have to determine what your goal is for that particular ask that you are doing. So I think I answered it. Anything else? Anyone? Okay.
Do we have any other questions?
All such great information. Thank you and have a wonderful weekend. Hi, Kim. I got to spend time with her yesterday and have a Merry Christmas. Great information. Thank you all. Thank you for your comments and hanging out with us for 46 minutes today. That was a long one.
Yeah, that was a longer one. It's usually not this long, but we had a lot to tell you.
All right. Well, we're looking forward to seeing all the things that you do, and we will see you next time on
fUNfiltered.
fUNfiltered.
God bless y'all. Take care.